Carl Jung's only rule that will change your life. What if I told you that Carl Jung discovered one rule, one single psychological principle that could end your suffering forever? Not reduce it, not manage it, end it. You probably think that's impossible. You've tried everything, haven't you? Self-help books, therapy, meditation, positive thinking, and you're still here, still searching, still carrying that weight in your chest that never goes away. Let me guess what your life looks like. You wake up, and within minutes, that familiar heaviness settles in. The anxiety about work, the resentment toward someone who hurt you, the shame about who you think you are. You look in the mirror and see someone you don't fully recognize, someone wearing a mask of, "I'm fine," while drowning in thoughts you can't control. You react to the same triggers. You attract the same problems. You sabotage the same opportunities. And deep down, you know something is fundamentally wrong with how you're living, but you can't put your finger on what. You've tried to fix yourself from the outside in, new habits, new goals, new relationships, but the pattern repeats. The pain returns. The same darkness follows you everywhere you go. Why? Because you're fighting the wrong battle. Carl Jung spent his entire life studying the human psyche, and he discovered something that will disturb you and liberate you. There's one rule, one fundamental law of psychological transformation that, when truly understood and applied, doesn't just change your life. It changes your entire relationship with reality itself. In the next 12 minutes, you'll discover Jung's most powerful and dangerous insight. You'll understand why every attempt to fix yourself has failed. You'll learn the one thing standing between you and genuine freedom. And you'll walk away with a method so profound that Jung himself said it was the only path to psychological wholeness. But I'm warning you now, this isn't comfortable. This isn't another feel-good strategy. This is shadow work at its deepest level. This is about facing what you've been running from your entire life. If you're ready to stop running, if you're ready to stop being afraid of yourself, then stay with me. Because Jung's rule doesn't just change your life, it gives you back your soul. The rule that destroyed Jung's life and saved it. Carl Jung was 38 years old when his world collapsed. His mentor, Freud, had turned against him. His professional reputation was in ruins. His marriage was cracking. And then, something far worse happened. He started having visions, hearing voices, experiencing what most people would call a complete psychological breakdown. But Jung did something that no one expected. Instead of running from his darkness, instead of trying to suppress it or medicate it, he walked directly into it. And in that darkness, he discovered the rule that would revolutionize psychology forever. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This isn't just a quote, it's a psychological law as real as gravity. And you've been living proof of it your entire life. What your unconscious is really doing to you right now, as you're listening to this, your unconscious is running approximately 95% of your life. Your reactions, your choices, your relationships, your self-sabotage. You think you're in control, but you're not. You're being controlled by parts of yourself you refuse to acknowledge. That anger that explodes out of nowhere. That's your shadow speaking. That person who triggers you more than anyone else. They're showing you a disowned part of yourself, that pattern of attracting the wrong people. That's your unconscious recreating familiar wounds. Jung discovered that everything you hate, everything you fear, everything you judge in others is a projection of what you've rejected in yourself. This is why you keep living the same story. This is why the same problems follow you everywhere. This is why you feel like you're trapped in someone else's life. Because you're trapped in the life created by the parts of yourself you've never met. The shadow, your disowned power. Jung called it the shadow. Everything about yourself that you've deemed unacceptable, dangerous, or shameful. Your anger, your selfishness, your neediness, your darkness, your desires, your power. Most people spend their entire lives building a persona, a socially acceptable mask, while shoving everything else into the basement of their psyche. But here's what Jung discovered. What you resist persists. That anger you've suppressed, it's controlling you through passive aggression. That power you've denied, it's leaking out through manipulation. That neediness you've hidden, it's driving every relationship decision you make. You cannot heal what you will not feel. You cannot integrate what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot become whole while rejecting half of yourself. This is why you feel incomplete. This is why you feel like something is missing. This is why no external achievement or relationship or experience ever fills the void. The void is where your shadow lives, and it will remain empty until you have the courage to descend into it. The integration process meeting your desound self. Jung's rule isn't just about awareness. It's about integration. It's about having the courage to sit with the parts of yourself you've been running from and asking, oh, what are you trying to tell me? That rage you're afraid of, what if it's actually your healthy boundaries trying to emerge? That sadness you keep pushing down, what if it's grief that needs to be honored? That selfishness you judge so harshly, what if it's self-care trying to be born? Jung wrote, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. That person who annoys you with their arrogance, you have disowned arrogance. That person who disgusts you with their neediness, you have disowned neediness. That person who enrages you with their selfishness, you have disowned your own self-care. The goal isn't to become these things. The goal is to own them, to integrate them, to take back the energy you've been wasting on judgment and projection. The mirror of relationships. Here's where Jung's rule becomes devastatingly practical. Every relationship in your life is a mirror showing you the state of your inner world. The people you attract, they're reflecting your unconscious patterns. The people you repel, they're showing you what you've rejected in yourself. The people who trigger you, they're your greatest teachers if you have the courage to see them as such. This is why you keep attracting the same type of person in different bodies. Your unconscious is trying to heal old wounds by recreating familiar dynamics. But until you make this unconscious conscious, you'll keep reliving the same story with different actors. Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But transformation only happens when you stop seeing others as the problem and start seeing them as mirrors. The price of unconsciousness. Listen carefully to what Jung discovered about the cost of remaining unconscious. Every unexpressed emotion becomes a symptom. Every disowned trait becomes a compulsion. Every rejected part of yourself becomes a fate you cannot escape. You think you're protecting yourself by keeping certain aspects of your personality locked away. But you're actually imprisoning yourself. The anger you won't feel becomes depression. The power you won't claim becomes victimhood. The love you won't express becomes loneliness. The boundaries you won't set become resentment. Jung called this psychological splitting. And it's the root of all mental suffering. You cannot be whole while at war with yourself. You cannot be free while rejecting half of your nature. You cannot be authentic while wearing a mask. The path to wholeness. Individuation. Jung's rule points toward what he called individuation, the process of becoming psychologically whole, not perfect. Whole. This means owning all of yourself, the light and the shadow, the strength and the weakness, the love and the anger, the wisdom and the foolishness. It means having the courage to be disliked, to be misunderstood, to be seen as you truly are rather than as you think you should be. Most people die having never met themselves. They live their entire lives in the prison of other people's expectations, never discovering their authentic nature. But when you apply Jung's rule, when you make the unconscious conscious, you begin to live from your center instead of your wounds. You begin to respond from wisdom instead of reactive patterns. You begin to create your life instead of repeating your past. Here is the challenge for you. Ask yourself right now, what parts of yourself are you most ashamed of? What emotions do you never allow yourself to feel? What traits in others trigger you the most? Those answers, that's your homework. That's your shadow calling. And here's the uncomfortable truth, you will keep attracting these triggers until you integrate what they're showing you about yourself. Jung's rule isn't just about psychology. It's about reclaiming your power from the unconscious forces that have been running your life. When you make the unconscious conscious, when you integrate your shadow, when you stop projecting your disowned self onto others, you become unshakable. Not because nothing affects you, but because you know yourself so deeply that external events can't knock you off center. You stop needing others to be different. You stop needing circumstances to change. You stop waiting for life to become perfect before you can be whole. You realize that everything you've been seeking outside yourself, peace, power, love, authenticity, has been waiting inside you all along, buried beneath the parts of yourself you were afraid to meet. This is Jung's gift to you. This is his rule, not as information, but as transformation. The question isn't whether this is true. The question is whether you have the courage to find out. Your unconscious has been directing your life long enough. Your shadow has been controlling you from the darkness long enough. Your wounds have been choosing your relationships long enough. It's time to take back your power. It's time to meet yourself fully. It's time to stop being afraid of who you really are. Jung wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." That privilege is available to you right now. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready. Right now. But it requires the one thing most people will never do, turning toward what you've been running from and saying, "Show me what you're here to teach me." If this resonates with something deep inside you, if you feel that familiar stirring of recognition, if you're ready to stop living someone else's life and start living your own, write in the comments, "I see my shadow." Let's see who here is ready to meet themselves fully. Let's see who's ready to apply Jung's rule and reclaim their life from the unconscious forces that have been controlling it. Because once you see, and once you integrate, you can never go back to being fragmented. Your wholeness is waiting. Your authentic self is calling. Your shadow is ready to become your ally instead of your enemy. The only question is, are you ready to answer?